You know the drill. Are the two lines equal in length? You know you can't trust your eyes. Of course they're the same length. It's just the Mueller-Lyer illusion playing games with your brain. Is it a face or is it a vase? We don't see what's in front of us nearly so much as we see what we're looking for.
James Burke tells the story of a student of the philosopher Wittgenstein who once commented to him, "What a bunch of morons these people in the Middle Ages must have been. They woke up every morning and saw the sunrise and imagined that they saw the sun revolving around the earth. Everybody knows that the earth revolves around the sun." To which Wittgenstein supposedly replied, "Yeah, but what would it have looked like if the sun had been orbiting around the earth? I wonder what that would have looked like." Point being, of course, that it would have looked exactly the same. We see what our knowledge tells us we're seeing, and for the past half-century, we've seen mental illness as a cluster of behavioral symptoms as defined by the American Psychiatric Association in the current version of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual.
The DSM instructs us how to identify a mental illness by providing detailed behavioral descriptions of symptoms that different observers should be able to identify independently. Insomnia or hypersomnia nearly every day is a symptom of major depressive disorder that different clinicians interviewing the same patient should be able to identify with minimal skill. These behavioral checklists form the backbone of why we think we can identify mental illness.
Think for a moment how weird that is. Is that the way the rest of science works? Imagine that you woke up one morning with a symptom of fever. Well, you'd go to the doctor and you'd expect him to take your temperature. But you wouldn't expect that he'd provide a diagnosis just on the basis of that one symptom. After all, a fever could be a cold. It could be flu. It could be strep throat. It could even be leukemia. All of those diseases present with fever. And we know that the doctor can check into the physical process that's going on causing the symptoms fairly easily by taking a test to rule out strep or flu. But what about mental illness? We diagnose mental illness on the basis of symptoms because we don't have any way to pop open the lid on your brain and see what's going on in there.
The problem is, just as a fever can have a variety of causes, depressive symptoms are how a variety of neurological problems present behaviorally. Throwing an antidepressant medication at this variety of possible underlying problems sometimes works, and it sometimes doesn't.
About half the people who undertake a course of antidepressants don't experience any relief. And even those that do, most of them experience some level of side effects. That's because that selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor that you took doesn't just target the nerve cells in your brain that aren't functioning well. It hoses your entire system, with some unintended consequences for most people. So why do we use this throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks approach? It's because we don't know how to get inside your brain to see what works and what doesn't. In mental health, we look at symptoms because that's all we know how to look for. But all of that is changing rapidly. Yogi Berra once famously said, "It's like deja vu all over again." Well, it's like 1609 all over again. Why the year 1609? Imagine for a moment that you're a college student, you're a junior, the year is 1609, and you decide to declare yourself an astronomy major. You just hit the jackpot. The world's first practical telescope has just been built, and blueprints for it aren't hard to find. You get somebody to build you one, take that bad boy out into the night, and point it anywhere in the sky. You'll see things that no one has ever seen before. And if you're Galileo Galilei, what you see will change the way the rest of the world understands the universe. Technology improves and knowledge explodes. In terms of our understanding of the mind and its relationship to the brain, It's like 1609 all over again.
Advances in a number of technologies are converging to transform our understanding of the brain in a manner that may be as breathtaking as how our understanding of the universe changed following the development of the telescope. These technologies include our ability to create images of activity of the brain in real time and in ever-improving resolutions, our understanding of how nerves talk with each other, our understanding of neural circuits, the intracranial highway system, and what traffic patterns look like under different conditions, how that highway system grows, shrinks, our understanding of DNA, that is our brain's blueprint, genetics, and how life experiences impact the extent to which those genes are turned on, epigenetics.
These changes will move our professions from behaviorally based descriptions of mental disorders to a brain classification system that combines behaviorally based descriptions with genomics and biomarkers that identify specific suboptimal neural circuits. We've got good reason to believe that the pace of change will continue to increase over the next 20 years. And as those changes happen, we'll not only be in a better position to transform psychotherapy, but to transform our understanding of how brains flourish.